to the Tay and Todd Washington Football Team podcast. This is your co-host Tay and Todd. How are you feeling this week? We have a big game against the Carolina Panthers, as some may call it, a reunion game. You look at this now, this is meaningful football. If they win this game, they head back home and then they play Seattle, and that could be really eventful. Todd, how are you feeling about this week? Not only the fact of playing a former Ron Rivera-led team, but a team that's struggling at quarterback just like us, but defense is very prominent. Are you feeling good this week? Win, loss? How you feeling?
It's nice that there's some level of intrigue for the game, you know. I will say, I don't know. It's tough for me to predict how I'm feeling because the way they played last week was such an anomaly. We literally don't know which direction they'll go. So, and then you get the fact of, Cam Newton starting, which could go either way. He could be terrible or he could, be incredible. So I really don't know what to expect. Like, seriously, I have no idea what to expect. What I will say is that more than a win, I would rather they play similar to how they did last week and then lose for one reason or another than just look for. I don't need them to win to still feel like they've improved, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
I want to see them play well and play more mistake-free, and I'll feel good about that regardless of whether or not they win or lose, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
How are you feeling?
I'm on edge because you're playing You got 2 games left against teams with winning records. Well, 3 with 2 teams.
Oh, the Raiders and the Cowboys twice. 2 teams, 3 games. Yeah.
And it brings a lot of intrigue. I think if you win this week against a Carolina team, I think it puts you right smack dab in the middle, heading home on a Monday night against Carolina, against Seattle.
Right.
And I think the place will be rocking, but we have something better to announce, Todd. I'll let you get to that.
Right.
So before we get into that, Todd, I'll hand that over to you.
Okay. I'm honored. So we are a couple, I guess maybe 3-4 weeks ago, we were reached out to by the Fansided Network, which, they have the Players Tribune. They are Fansided, as well as the Big Lead. And basically what they're doing is they're starting a podcast network, and they want to have NFL Network, and they want to have a podcast to cover each team in the NFL. And they chose us. They reached out to us, asked us if we'd like to partner with them. And so we are now officially the Fansided partner podcast for the Washington Football Team. So we are the Tay and Todd podcast, brought to you by Fansided. And that's really cool. So we're really excited about that. Fansided is a very legit operation. They've got their foot in everything. Riggles Rag, the website that really probably every Washington fan is familiar with, that's Fansided. That's run by Fansided. Each team has their own website. And now if you go on Riggles Rag, you'll see us, our podcast, on the web page as the official podcast for the Washington Football Team by Fansided. So we're really excited about that, Tay. And we've kind of been putting off the announcement because we wanted to do it right.
Yes.
Because it's just been so much moving going on, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited, and it seems like really a great partnership compared to some other things going on out there. They are really giving us free reign to operate how we want. They are not trying to own anything that we're doing. They just want to partner up with us, and so we're happy to be partnered with them. So yeah, this is the Tay and Todd podcast brought to you by Fansided, which means, Tay, now every episode, that's what you got to say.
Yes.
Not because of them, but because we like the way it sounds.
Right.
Yeah. So you could say your thoughts on it too.
Yeah. I'm excited. I know we turned down a couple of opportunities here in the past, and it just seemed like this one fit right what we wanted to do, and well connected on both sides. So I'm excited, and I always go on Riggles Rag every once in a while to look at a couple articles, especially in the
Mm,
off season, something to just keep me going. And the fact that I was on there the other day and then seeing our podcast being on there, it
right.
was awesome. So
That's cool.
it's truly a cool moment and a cool opportunity, and hopefully we can keep giving out good content.
Right. Yeah, I was taken aback, but I remember when we were recording our first episode, doing our first post, following our first people. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, kind of seeing how we've been able to grow and so yeah, I guess always it's kind of still crazy to me that there are people who like actually care to watch
Yeah, right.
and listen to our stuff. It's still kind of crazy to me, but it's very
For sure.
cool. I know Brody. I'm pretty sure it's Brody Padula who, when we went to the game
Yeah,
week 2, and he was like,
yeah,
"Hey," and he like recognized that was super cool. And so,
yeah.
thank
That
you.
was cool.
Always, some of the biggest fans we have, like Zuhair and like Cam, people are just consistently supporting us, watching, listening to our stuff. So we really, really do appreciate that. And like, yeah, it wouldn't be happening if we didn't have people who supported us. So we really appreciate everyone's support. And on that note, I kind of want to add, because I haven't done a quarterback film breakdown, and it's because Game Pass has just made it so much more difficult. But I plan to do that today and have that out tonight or early tomorrow morning. But it's a lot harder now, and there's a way I could do it that would be easier, but it's still pretty involved. So anyway, really exciting. So thanks for sticking with us. We're gonna kind of try to find ways to do things and make it, produce more stuff, different kinds of stuff, maybe quicker, shorter stuff, but more of it, and just
Mhm.
different ways to do things. So yeah, man, proud of us.
Oh, yeah, me too. And this show is brought to you by Hot Chikn Kitchen. I feel like I should say it this time. Hot Chikn Kitchen.
Yeah.
Go get you a hot Nashville chicken sandwich. I haven't had one in about 4 or 5 months, and I think it's about time
Oh
for me to
man.
to
Yeah.
get one. So, Hot Chikn
Yeah.
Kitchen there in Woodbridge, Virginia. Go check it out. And then also, Done Pro Financial. You need
Hmm.
good credit. You need your credit repaired. Go check them out, and it's in the link right top
Yep. It's in the link
below.
below. Absolutely. Yes. Man, you did a great job. I don't know if you were planning to do that or not, but
I
that
mean,
was,
I figured I'd wing it. So
yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, so I guess we can talk about what a win would mean, what a loss would mean. But before we do, Cam Newton being back, and of course, making his first start against Washington, against his former coach, Ron Rivera. I don't know why, like, the football gods choose to do things like it's crazy, but what do you expect from Cam this week? Not just in terms of the level of his play, but in terms of like the scheme offensively and what they ask him to do. Because this is not, while it's the same organization, it's not the same team. So he is learning a different offense. Do you think that he's going to come out there and can he's playing like quarterback regular, or is he going to kind of be limited in terms of what they ask him to do throwing the ball?
I think he's going to be limited. I think you see a lot of read option, possibly. A lot
Yeah, that's
of
a good point.
run RPOs. I can see
Yeah,
that,
yeah, that's a good
just to
point.
kind of get them down, and especially in the red zone, I'll see him do a lot of scrambling, like a lot of just QE runs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't expect him to ball out by any
yeah,
means,
yeah.
just because I'm sure Ron knows his limitations. There's a reason why they didn't bring him in. I'm sure Scott knows his
Right.
limitations. And I'm sure they've communicated that with Jack Del Rio. And I think he'll come back down to earth. I mean, if it's I think it'd be a physical football game. I think if he gets in the red zone within the 5 yard line, I think he'll score. But I don't see him blowing the charts off with his arm at all by any means.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it will be an emphasis in using his legs like it was last week. He didn't play a lot last week. When he did, a lot of it was using his legs, and PJ Walker came in. And I was wondering if maybe they'll use PJ Walker some, or maybe it'll just be Cam. But assuming it is all Cam, yeah, I could see him having something like less than 20 passing attempts, maybe 150 passing yards.
Yeah.
And like I think the point you made about RPOs was good, because offensively, like, different terminology and whatnot, yada yada yada. But RPOs are RPOs. Like, and if you've run, like, there's only so many different versions of RPOs you can run. They can be pretty similar from team to team, even from college to NFL. And so that's a really good point. I think you'll see a lot of him coming in and and just reading that one defender. If, Cole Holcomb, Cam Curl, Landon Collins, whatever, steps down, throw that ball behind him. If they stay back, hand it off. That's a really good point. I think we'll see a lot of that, especially considering that the running game is their strength offensively. And so they'll probably just try to run and then work the pass off the run. So I'm not super honestly, I probably would be a bit more worried if it was PJ Walker, because I think he can do more throwing the ball. Now, he's not the level of player that Cam has been, but I think he knows the offense at least.
Yeah.
But it'll be intriguing. I mean, apparently the ticket prices have doubled. Hotels are booked up, and fans in Carolina are just beyond excited for Cam to be back. So, maybe we'll rain on their parade.
Ron Rivera being back, it all played a factor. But I'm not scared of Cam Newton this weekend. I think it may play in our favor. Actually, I think I'm more worried about their defense, us being able to move the ball against their defense, as opposed to their offense. I know last year we struggled with their defense, that 3-3-5 or whatever they run.
Right, 3 down,
3 down, and that hurt us a lot last year. I think that was the game Haskins came back. Was it?
That was Haskins started. That was his last game, last
game. Yeah.
Right.
So we don't know. We can't really put in. I mean, Haskins was quarterback, so you can't really judge what the offense would have looked like. But I mean, Logan Thomas doesn't look like he's going to be back. Curtis Samuel not going to be back. So I don't know.
Yeah, that 3-3-5, and so the Panthers have second best defense in terms of yards allowed right now. They're giving up less than 300 yards per game, giving up less than 20 points a game. Let me see. So they're second in yards allowed. They're sixth in points allowed. In terms of passing defense, they're the number 1 pass defense in the NFL in terms of yards allowed, 173 yards a game. Yeah. This number 2 is the Bills at 190. And then in terms of rush defense, they are about top 12, 107 yards a game. So you look at, you talked about being more worried about their defense. I think that's a valid point. What was Taylor Heineke's worst game this year? Was against
Packers, maybe? Or
I would say Buffalo.
Okay, Buffalo. Okay.
I mean, Packers game was weird because they were moving the ball. I would say Buffalo because of the turnovers.
Got you.
Because those picks were, I mean, whatever. It was one of his worst games. It was the team's worst game. They're the second best passing defense right now. They gave him a lot of trouble. Basically, weren't able to do a lot through the air. And now you've got the Panthers, who are better pass defense. So my main concern this week would be Taylor Heinicke and just the passing offense going into this game, seeing how they struggled. I mean, so you said the Packers, right? Packers are third in pass defense. Right. So, and I mean, I didn't feel like they definitely didn't struggle as much against the Packers as they did against the Bills. It was just in the red zone. It was really within the 5-yard line where they struggled with the Packers. But I worry about that, not just because of Taylor Heinicke, but also because, again, you don't have Curtis Samuel. You don't have Logan Thomas. Not only Logan Thomas, you don't even have Ricky Seals-Jones now, right?
Yep, he didn't practice.
Right. And then, so you're down to John Bates, the rookie, who he's a rookie. You don't know what you'll get, but his opportunity. And then, you're not getting a lot. I mean, DeAndre Carter's your number 2 offensive weapon right now, or at least from in the receiver core. So I'm concerned about the passing offense. Now, last year it was a different year, but they were having success running the ball against the Panthers, and then they got away from it. They were down, but people talked about how they shouldn't have gotten away from it. So maybe that's where you need to look at this offense getting production, is consistently running the ball and not getting away from it, even if you get down. It really bothers me, the lack of explosive plays, like really explosive plays by this offense in the passing and the running game, because other than Antonio Gibson's 75-yard screen against the Bills, they don't have any big, long, and they don't have any downfield explosive passing plays like that. I think J.D. McKissick's 51-yarder against the Giants. Terry's against the Falcons, yeah. And neither of those were over 60 yards. And then I don't know what their longest run is of the season, but it can't be very long.
No.
And I bet it's not by a running back.
Yeah, it's Heineke probably.
It's probably Heineke or an end around by somebody. I don't
Yeah,
think it's definitely not by Antonio Gibson.
no.
And Jared Patterson hasn't gotten a snap. So I think, and that's my thing. If you need to get the running game going, I think you need to incorporate all three of the running backs and not just Gibson because he's lacking explosiveness right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, last game
Yeah,
he did good. He drove the pile last game, so I'm interested to see how that carries
yeah.
over this week.
His
And
longest run this year is 27 yards. Go ahead.
yeah, see, yeah,
Yeah, he was playing with a lot of power last week,
yeah.
but just not like explosiveness in running the ball through openings and breaking
Maybe he'll
tackles.
maybe he'll play better in the cold weather with being more power. Having you needed more power
Right.
in this at this time of the year. So maybe he's just a power back. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we need to look for a guy that can play in the that's more elusive in the beginning
Yeah.
in the first couple of months and just have him as a power back. I don't know, which is strange because he was a receiver. So it's like I
Hmm.
don't know. I think he needs to lose some weight and I think
Yeah,
he needs to figure some stuff out.
I agree. I agree in losing weight, and then I think he is really banged up. On top
Yeah.
of that, he was a wide receiver who was played some running back, some wide receiver. He wasn't getting nearly the touches in college that he's
Mm-mm.
getting now. I mean, he's probably gotten more touches in the first half of the season than he got in a couple seasons of college.
Right.
So
Right.
that's probably why he's getting so dinged and banged up because he's not used to taking this pounding. So I think that you may Gibson can be better. I believe that, and this is not what we're talking about really. But I just think that you next year, I think you do need to find a running back
Yeah.
who they can at least be A and B, or maybe that's Jarrett Patterson, and you got to get him more involved because I think Gibson may be more of a B running back and less of a true running back one.
For sure.
Because if you do get banged up easily and you still play, but you're not 100%, then you're still not going to be what you really need.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think you would like to see them be able to get the running game going this week. If the Panthers, they use that three down, and it seems to me what it seems to me is that three down front that they use and that 3-3-5 defense either it seems to work really well or just not well much at
Hmm.
all. Right.
Hmm.
So I mean, we'll see, but I think that your strength should come in the running game more than the passing game offensively. So if they win, they're playing the Seahawks, another NFC game on Monday Night Football. And then, they got the Raiders to go into that last stretch against the NFC East. If they lose, season over,
Yeah.
3-7.
Yeah. Just about.
Because I mean, at that point, you'd have to. What's the goal? Is the goal to win the division, or is it to sneak into the playoffs as the seventh wild card?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
depending on how they lose, if it's like blowout 21-3, it's over. If it's like, all right, they lose by like a game winning drive or field goal, I think may have a little chance considering you got. I think next week is the biggest game out of all. I think next week determines whether it's going to be. Um, I don't think this week is the game that decides whether the season is over. I think it's next Monday night against
against the Seahawks.
Seattle. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, you lose
But
this
if they
week, you
win
get
this
to,
one, this gives them some big leeway
it gives them a
and
lot.
heading into yeah,
It gives them a lot against the Seattle team that I don't know who the Seahawks play this week, but
Arizona.
against this. Oh man. Okay. So I don't know if Kyler and them are back, I think that's a win for Arizona. If not, who knows? But it's either way, a Seattle team that's struggling. So this Panthers game, it may not be determining, but I guess I'll say I think they have a lot more to gain by winning. If they
No,
win, I think it feels like your season is turning around,
for sure.
and then if they lose, it's not as significant of a feeling.
Right.
But I mean, it is. Yeah, if they win this game, they're going into Monday Night Football, and they are hyped up.
Blazing.
They are. Yeah, they're energetic, man. They are because they at that point, they know that their season, every game, their season is on the line. If you lose, it's kind of like okay, we have to battle back again,
Right.
man. Okay, do you got any predictions? Do you have any bold predictions? Like what?
Uh, I guess I'm going to say the defense wins this game. I'm going to say uh, 2+ picks.
Okay.
I'm gonna say William Jackson gets another
Jackson.
pick. I think he's going to earn his money the second half of the season. Um, and I'm gonna say the defense turns everything around. I think the defense is about to step up even without Chase and without
Sweat.
Sweat, because I think they're going to have to get more creative. And I think the
Mm.
creativity in the beginning lacked because they were so dependent on the front four. I think you can't lose creativity when you have those four guys. You
Mm.
gotta continue to have
Yeah.
guys coming and blitzing and doing stuff like that. So I'm gonna say my prediction is a defensive score, 2+ picks, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be a defensive game. I want to say 13-7 type of game, and
Got you.
I'm gonna give Carolina the win because I just can't see our offense moving the ball. And they have more talent
Yeah.
on offense with McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson,
They do.
and
Yeah, they do.
so
Okay. Man, 13-7. 13-7 Panthers, right?
yeah. But I think we get a defensive
Gotcha.
score. I think that's going to be the only score we get.
Okay, got you. I don't think that's crazy, to be honest with you. First of all, it would be the first defensive score of the year.
Mhm.
The point you made about you seeing the defense stepping up even without Sweat, and like that would be very Washington, where
Mhm.
who are two players who are supposed to be your best players on defense go out with injury and suddenly your defense is better. Like that
Yeah.
would I would surprise me at all. And I do expect a strong performance from the defense, not only because they've played better these last 3-4 weeks. I mean, starting with maybe the Chiefs game, I'd say I know how that game ended, but I think that the defense really they started to kind of turn around there. But because I also just think that they're a second half defense. I think that their struggles don't come as a whole. They just come in starting off strong against teams that are playing well. But
Mhm.
when everything starts to level out as the season goes on, I think that's when they step up. So and then Cam Newton playing and the Panthers quarterback situation not being good. Yeah, I don't expect the defense to give up more than 20 points to the Panthers. And I realized the Panthers just scored, what was it, 20, how much, 34 against the Cardinals. They were kind of
Mhm.
having their way with the Cardinals, but I
They're
think
banged up.
Washington, yeah, yeah, offensively for Washington, man, I don't have high expectations. I'd
You got
probably,
Gilmore about to shut what's his name
yeah,
down,
Terry.
Terry down, and we don't have
Mm,
anything else. I mean, DeAndre Carter. I mean, they're gonna have to get very
yeah,
creative on offense as well. They're gonna have to move Terry around, maybe give him some end arounds. You got to get the ball in his hand.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Hmm. I guess the question is how I'm gonna predict a Washington win though.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say something like 17-13 Washington,
Mhm.
uh, with the help of a couple of turnovers. I think it's going to be a sloppier game by the Panthers because you have Cam coming in there, and it's he's not the player he was, and then to come in mid-season, yeah, it's not like he's going back to the team he left. So I'm going to
Yeah.
predict a Washington win, and then expect. I think that the disappointment would come in that Monday night game against the Steelers
Yeah.
more than against this
Seahawks.
Panthers game. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like if they lose, I'm not gonna be beat up about it. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just whatever happens, happens. This is where I'm at right now.
I think if they win, it's going to be off of the leg of Joey Sly.
Okay.
I think he's a good kicker. I think they found something that I mean, the
his it's
dude
his
can kick.
it's his return too. His reunion for him.
Yeah, and he can kick. He can
Yeah.
kick. So I like him actually. I like him a lot. I think we messed up with cutting Hopkins maybe, but I think Sly is not a bad I think he'll be the
Yeah.
kicker of the future for sure.
When they cut Hopkins, Sly wasn't available.
Yeah, true.
So, like, I guess you could say they cut Hopkins a week too early. They should have just cut him after the Broncos game going into the bye. Truthfully, if Hopkins was on the team in that Broncos game, you might win that game.
Might win that
That's
game.
neither here nor there, but two block kicks.
That
Yeah,
put you 4-5 right there.
I sure would.
That Saints
But
game.
man, we'll definitely be doing that. we'll definitely be looking back at, but anyway, I just want, more than anything, I just need to see them play good football again. And if they get beat by the Panthers, but I still feel like they played well, okay. I just don't want them to come out like the Broncos again or like the Packers, sloppy on offense, missing opportunities, and then on defense, just, the third downs again, the pass interference penalties, just sloppy. Just play clean like you did this past week. It was a very clean game by Washington against the Buccaneers.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I guess that's all I got. There's intrigue. Panthers are 5-5. Washington's 3-6. So they are like definitely competing for potentially the same playoff spot. If they're competing for a playoff spot, Washington, they're 3-6, so they shouldn't be, but they are.
Right.
I don't know, man. Last week was crazy. So more than anything, I just want to know. I just want to know what we'll get from this team coming off a game like that.
If they win this one, I just think you got to start considering playoffs with the schedule they have remaining. You just have to.
Yeah. I mean, it's like obviously never, regardless of what we as fans want, like fans want different things, players want different things, coaches want different. So like, regardless of what we want, I never expect the team to try to quote unquote tank or try to not win games. I never expect that, and I never fault them for doing so. Like their goal, the players are not thinking about draft position to acquire a quarterback or needing to trade up. They're just, but the same way, I'm not thinking about the players feeling good about a win. I'm thinking about winning next season. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily agree with, be happy for the players. Stop, no, we all want different things. I'm going to want what I want. That's fine. They want what they want. So, but basically I'm saying I don't fault if they, they win this game. They're trying to go to the playoffs. Yeah, I expect that. I'm not going to fault them for that, even if it's not what I necessarily think is best for the team.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. This is a big game, huge game. And the thing is, this team is battle tested, and they know what it takes. They know what it takes, and it would not surprise me if they win. It's not going to surprise me. I just think that they have some momentum, and they're going to carry it over. My concern is I just don't think they have enough on offense. I think just Terry isn't enough. That's the only. Is it just me, or does it feel like you're in the same place offensively, basically, that you were last year?
Yeah,
pretty much.
I mean, like Heineke's not as bad as Dwayne Haskins, but when you compare him to Kyle Allen or Alex Smith in terms of their ability to win, I don't think there's a significant difference.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're pretty much left with just Terry McLaurin again, right? And then, last year Gibson was a rookie, and now this year he's banged up. Feels like you're in the same spot offensively. And that's not – I mean, they tried to upgrade this year. Curtis Samuel's hurt. De'Ami Brown, Gibson's banged up. The offensive line has been they added Ryan Fitzpatrick. They did try to improve the offense, but somehow it feels like you just ended up in the same exact spot again.
Yeah. If Cam Sims can step up the second half, I think they'll be in good hands.
Yeah. I think you want to get Cam Sims more involved at this point. I guess it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to fight for the playoffs, then there's certain guys you play. If the goal is to just make it through the season, then that's when we were talking about a couple weeks ago, play the younger guys.
Yeah.
Depends on what your goals are.
Man, if they win this one and then they get Logan Thomas back and Samuel back next Monday, look out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. They didn't have a Monday night game last year. They had the Steelers, which was like Tuesday night or something, right?
Yeah.
They didn't actually have a Monday. So I am curious to see the Ron Rivera led team on Monday night, because around here Monday nights are pretty terrible. I mean, horrible.
Terrible.
I think they're like 2-17, 2-19 or something. Something really, really bad. So, and it's not just like that they lose; it's how they just always come out looking flat and terrible. So I'm definitely curious to see. So yeah, all right, man. That's all I've got. I just want to know what the team is now. That's all I want to know. So we will find out on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about it. All right, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Todd.
This is Tay.
And this is the Tay and Todd podcast, brought to you by Fansided.